Hello everybody! Today we will be reading the first chapter of Some Common Ground. I will be rereading the summary and then we'll get straight on to the chapter. Once upon a time, Tim and Damian wanted each other dead. Now, they're sure that the other is the only one that really gets it anymore. AKA, Tim and Damian have the same trauma around training that they consider to be the norm and are glad to find another person who trains like a normal person instead of realizing that they're the outliers. Notes? I said I would post something this week. I was hoping to get the next chapter of And I'm Getting Older 2 out before I posted this, but my work schedule changed that up. It's easy to write something that isn't part of a long series. Who would have thought? This was supposed to be a one-chapter fic, but I couldn't get it all out and it just keeps coming. The more I try to end it, the longer it gets. Chapter 1. Tim doesn't remember the date they started training together. He knows it was in January. He knows that Damian had come in on him training and made a comment about him learning from the League of Assassins more recently than Damian had. Damian wanted to train to get a refresher. Tim wanted an excuse to stop listening to that podcast Sissy and Cassie are obsessed with that he just can't get into. They both trained until Tim's seemingly endless routine finished. Then Tim collapsed onto the mat. Damian fell next to him moments after. It's the first time either of them expressed weakness to each other. A week later, he found Damian scouring the back computer. Where do you keep your training routine? After years, Bruce had finally been convinced to get them the same training simulator as the one in Titan's Tower, an AI-powered machine. Babs made the AI for this one. It's so much better. That scans the training area and manages the training routines. Attached is an arena that tracks your moves and sparring, something that Tim has been tinkering with since the day he became a Titan. The simulator can take specific training step routines, usually saved into the machine. If it isn't, there's a good chance someone saved it on the back computer. That isn't the case here. Oh, mine is special. Keep it on a flash drive. Flash drives are quickly becoming outdated. It would be foolish to. The flash drives automatically overrides the limitations on time and difficulty. Whenever I try to put it manually in the tower, the system will reset it to an overexertion protection system. Plus, Dick kept deleting it for some reason. Ah, I see. He pulled out the flash drive. I was about to train anyway. Want to join? I suppose. Tim plugged the flash drive into the machine. 3 hours or 5 hours? Doesn't Father have a rule that you cannot train for over an hour without a break? That's a new rule. Totally insane if you ask me. Batman was having Tim train for 8 hours straight when he was 12. He should be allowed to train as long as he wants now that he's 17. If you want to become Robin, you should be able to fight for a full day. Do you think invading aliens will stop to let you get a drink of water to brace a sprained wrist? He doesn't get why these new rules are in place. Is he babying Damian? No, if that were the case, he wouldn't be trying to force it onto Tim. 5 hours. After that training session, Damian would randomly request to borrow Tim's flash drive. Tim would just come down with him. He needed a reminder to train after he's gone distracted by having to work so much. One day, Tim walked into the cave to catch Dick leaving. Careful, Timmy. Damian isn't in the best mood. Might want to give him some space. Tim didn't care. He wasn't going to bother the kid. He just wanted to get back to tinkering with the simulator's arena. Tim made it downstairs where Damian was swinging his sword around aimlessly, cutting the air into perfect cubes that would have fallen to the ground if that was how physics worked. Richard is a fool, Damian mutters to himself. So true, Bester, Tim said. Damian startled a little, his shoulders slightly raising, his back tensing, getting ready for an assault. Tim is used to the feeling. After a few months of training with Batman, he learned that he had to be ready for a surprise attack at any time. Lady Shiva told him it was a good trait to have. Once he got to the League, it was the same way. Definitely where Damian had learned it. We are not besties, he replied, turning to glare at him. Turn to phrase. What did Dick do this time? He continues to coddle me during training, won't use his full force against me when we are sparring. Tim groaned in solidarity. I know, right? He's the worst about it. He connected his laptop to the training simulator and started typing. Tim, you can't train with broken ribs. Tim, you can't try to do real damage sparring. You should only do that in real combat. He used to be better than him, but now he's acting even worse. Always saying something about power imbalances. He didn't know what happened to Bruce. At first, everything Tim did was a sign of weakness, and he gets it beaten out of him like a sword's claws being hammered away against the anvil. Then out of nowhere, Bruce is doing everything Tim had done. What is the point of sparring if not to learn how to overpower different opponents? See? Someone gets it. JC used to be a good sparring buddy back when he wanted to kill me, but now he won't so much as shoot a BB gun at me. Cowards, the lot of them. What's the point of sparring against someone when they won't actually fight you? Bad guys aren't gonna pull the punches. Tim finished typing the line of code before closing his laptop. Wanna spar against me? Promise I won't hold back. I would not be opposed. Tim went and changed into his Red Robin costume. When he came back, Damian was zapping his fingers to prep for hand-to-hand, which is pointless, since he was wearing gloves. It's more of a routine thing. I expected you to bring out your sword. I have not practiced hand-to-hand against another living being in months. I'm not losing that opportunity. Hand-to-hand it is. Whoever can't get off the ground in 5 seconds loses. Tim got his kneecap dislocated. Damian got a bruise in his stomach so big that Bruce thought a rogue did it the next day. Damian and Tim had never gone along better. Finally, someone who still doesn't treat them like kids. They are technically children, but Tim is nearly an adult anyway. After that, it became a regular thing. These days, they train and spar weekly. When they don't, well, Tim gave Damian his own flash drive a few months ago, as long as he doesn't tell anyone, to which he scoffed and told Tim he wasn't an idiot, so he can train as he pleases. Don't tell anyone has become a motto between them. Whenever one gets caught cleaning their own wound without putting it in the system, usually Damian, or doing something incredibly illegal and probably against the Geneva Convention on the back computer, usually Tim, they just repeat it to each other and turn a blind eye. Not that they don't do things together that would definitely get both of them in trouble. For example, Damian sprains his wrist on a Tuesday. He's mad about it all night, especially since it gets him benched. Tim doesn't understand why Bruce is making him sit out. Tim tells us the injuries that make a sprained wrist look like a paper cut. The next day, Tim goes down like normal to spar. Damian is down there typing on the back computer. What are you doing? Tim asks. Damian turns around. Just because I am injured doesn't mean I cannot work on something. You of all people should. It's Wednesday, Tim says, cutting him off. I thought we were going to spar. With my wrist? It's going to teach you how to fight with an injury. No better time to do it. Damian looks at him for a moment. For a few minutes. Tim thinks he did something wrong, and then he grins. I will go change. Tim stays out of the Wayne's way on Damian's birthday. He goes to the party, of course, and talks to Damian, but he steps away when Bruce or Jason come to talk with the kid. Damian has been avoiding Dick for a while. Something about being sick of getting treated like a child. Tim doesn't pry. He's been avoiding Dick since he left to find Bruce. It goes fine. After an hour, Damian comes to talk with him about how the whole thing is a charade and how everyone could do something productive right now. I did not enjoy my stay in the league, but at least I didn't have to put up with this foolishness. I feel that we never celebrated my birthday as a kid. Mom and Dad said it was a waste of time. They did send me pretty good presents, though. Did Father ever force you to celebrate your birthday like this? Tim snorts. Nope. He planted a fake crime spree to test me. He fake Steph and everything to see how I acted under the stress. It was a good training method. Tim knows. Did Cassie threaten to kill Bruce after? Because that's so messed up, Tim. Sure, but he's Batman. He has a reason for doing things. For pushing Tim to become his best. See? Damian explains. That has a purpose. This doesn't. That's a good point, Tim doesn't say. Though he just grasps aimlessly into the back of mind of a good reason why Bruce would do this. Maybe he's training you like this? I came already. I knew how to interact with people and know how to smile for the tabloids, pretend to be the perfect high society son. He does air quotes. But you still have some trouble coming off as the perfect heir. So he came up with this press text to see how you react in an important yet pointless social function. Oh wait, that does make sense. Pretty on brand for Pete too. Then why would Richard go along with it? He shrugs. Bruce got Alfred to help with my test. I understand. Damon gets a look on his face. Either saying it's about something that upsets him, or he's holding it apart. Probably the first one. Probably. Timothy, can you train me in social functions? I do not think I am doing very well on this test. A few months ago, Damien would have killed himself before admitting he was doing something poorly, let alone ask for help. He and Tim really have gotten close, huh? Of course, my mother was a better teacher than anyone else in the world when it comes to socialitism. When will we start? Tim would check his schedule if he didn't know that he didn't have any time. It's fine, he'll carve some out for Damian any time. What's your availability on Mondays? They agree to a time before Damian goes off to continue taking his test. Tim gets pulled into a conversation with Clark and is a mix of friendly and respectful when all I can think about when he looks at the man is the memes Khan keeps sending the group chat about the alien. By the time Tim successfully escapes his conversation with Superman, Damian is being forced to slog through pointless gifts that Tim is sure will be thrown into a corner in Damian's room. Tim doesn't really care until the boy picks up a poorly wrapped yellow rectangle with a Red Robin sticker on it. Damian feigns excitement about the expensive sketchbook he wraps while raising an eyebrow at Tim when he is sure no one is looking. Open it, Tim mouths. On the front page, written in League dialect, Arabic, is meet me downstairs at 8. Damian nods, giving Tim the first real smile that he's seen from the boy all day. Alright, that is the end to chapter 1. There are no author's notes at the end, so that's it. Hope you all have a good day.